What's up, guys? Shouri here, and today we are going to be doing this series where I go to top 100 and teach you everything I learned along the way. This is episode 4, getting top 600. And one thing that I learned over doing this is if you drop down and you can grab an AR-97, definitely do it. This gun is one of the best off-the-ground guns without any attachments. It just does absolute numbers, and it's pretty accurate in that medium to short range, and even in the long range. But what we're going to be doing a lot in this episode is we're going to be practicing new characters, which is one called Zero, and we're also going to be using new weapons because we've been mostly using an AK-47 and an MP5 hipfire. The reason for that is I think it's really important to get as good as you possibly can at one long range weapon and one short range weapon and then go from there. But we got number 2 on the server for the AK-47. We're pretty high up for the MP5 as well. And I decided, it's time to expand our horizons. So one really cool thing you can do is you can actually have a hipfire build for the Scar that also does pretty good damage in that medium to long range with a scope, just as any Scar does. And it's just really accurate at distance. But because you put all the hipfire stuff on it, it's actually really good as an up-close gun as well. So we're going to be running that. We picked up someone else's M4, which is super slow for the long range, but hey, it's always good to still have a long range and a short range gun. And oh my god, this gun just doesn't scope. It takes so long. That's crazy. But luckily, we do end up getting the kill there. We reload. And then we are going to be using UAVs because what keeps you from being a 14 kill capped player to a 24 kill capped player in a game is literally just use UAVs. If you have a lot of money to where you could die and still buy a weapon, so you need at least 10k, then go ahead and start spending 4k on these UAVs. It lets you know where you need to go next, and you're not just aimlessly wandering around. One of the other benefits of this is, in this case, there were 2 people ahead of me, so I do have to be careful for a third party. I know that one's going to be a little bit further out, so I'm not going to have to worry too much, but I do know there's 2 people in this direction, which is always helpful. So it can not only help you go to where you're going to select next, but also let me know to be cautious and ready for this guy to come up behind, and that way we could turn around and go ahead and get him. One of the really cool things about Zero is you can use his ability to jump straight up in the air and then just start spamming jump, which will end up allowing you to hit your parachute as soon as it's able to come up, and that can help you get a lot more out of his ability. You can get away to places faster, and you can also get to people faster, which helped us close the distance on that sniper there. We also use this ability off of a bridge to get even more height, so we get even more out of that ability. It's always good to find little ways to kind of maximize the benefits that you get from doing abilities or using the ammo you have. Like right now, I have no ammo, and I have no idea, so that's gonna suck in a bit. Some foreshadowing. But yeah, so basically what we're going to be doing here is just trying to third party into this fight. We know that there's a lot of people here, so it should be easy to get all the kills in the world. Luckily, we do end up closing this one out. And then we have 2 more Emmas, and we think that it's going to be the greatest thing ever right here. Then I realized, oh god, there's absolutely no ammo. Both my guns are the same. I just looted that guy. This is rough. So what we end up doing is we switch to have a small range weapon so we can have extra ammo pools, and then we go all the way around, and that way we can still go get these kills, but we don't die. Luckily for me, it did work out, and all these guys are still here just running from each other, and none of them can kill each other. They're all worried about healing and just running, which allowed me to come in and get all the kills in the world. Sadly, this Emma is just doing the same thing to me that he did to everyone else, and he's just running around being crazy, and I had such a pain trying to find this guy. I swear to god, he just disappeared out of nowhere, and I couldn't find him. So I did my favorite thing in the world and popped a UAV, and realized the guy literally was next to me the entire time. Luckily, we were able to go get him, and if you ever think that you can just hide like that from people, you can't, because remember, the UAVs are there, and the better players in the lobby are gonna be able to just find you that way. Either way, we are going to go over here. We saw the guy drop, and then we're going to come in here, and oh my god, I missed the first few seconds of those bursts, and if I would have lost that fight, I would have just absolutely lost it. Especially having 15 kills already with 13 people left. Like, this is a good 25 kill game easy, so like losing that would be really annoying just because I suck. But luckily, we did see this guy, and in order to catch up to him, we were able to go fly through the air, and then we're going to go ahead and shoot him from the back and get him down. And we knew that there was a guy kind of behind us that shot at us already, so we're trying to figure out where that was from. And I do end up seeing him kind of over this hill next to that rock, so we're going to go back, and we can also see him on our radar. So we do end up going out and trying to get him. Remember, this is the close range version of this gun, but it still does pretty decent damage, and as long as you have at least 2 or 3x scope, you can go and get people with it. We knew this guy was there from the UAV that we had used, and so we just went back to go get him, and then we are able to keep on going. I just want to make sure that we clear out our back before I move in forward, and so we use the UAV to see who's in front of us, and then I go in, and I'm not gonna lie, Ethan's shield is horrible because it delays and lags so much that it doesn't work half the time. But man, when it works, it works. It's rough. And right here, we are taking a huge risk. We were going to just drop straight into the buy station, but I saw a guy down there, and so he's going to be to the right of this buy station. I'm going to immediately get a gun and then just go straight for him. This is why I always have a short range loadout, is the one that starred is my favorite loadout. That way, when I really need to in those just intense instant situations, I can immediately buy a gun and go get them. Right here, we use another UAV, and then we catch this guy out. He's being pushed in by the zone. Easy kills. And then this guy's right behind us. We are able to lunge out, which gets his aim assist off of us, which allows us just enough time to live through it. Oh my god, I can't believe that actually worked. And situations like that are exactly why we're pushing our comfort zone now that we're getting good at weapons and we've gotten good at a few characters. Just doing more in different characters, learning the things they can do, getting good at them. And that's the whole point, is through the series, you'll get good at things by just doing them consistently and getting good step by step. And then there's basically the steps that I took to get better and better until I was able to get in the top 100. We saw this guy on the other side of the wall, so we're going to go ahead and rush him. That way we don't have to get surprised by him, especially with the wall moving. It's just a lot easier and better to go ahead and get that out now. We're going to use a UAV, which is our last one, so we got to be careful. We're going to just heal up before we come out, and now that we know where everyone's at, we can kind of just push in. We're going to try to third party this fight right here. Sadly, they were able to finish the fight before we got there, so we couldn't get two, but we did end up getting one of them for our 23rd kill, and we have 3 kills left, so hopefully we can make it a 26 kill game. But if we're going to do that, we have to push and push and push. We went ahead and looted that guy's body, that way we could get another UAV, which showed us where this guy was, which allows us to go ahead and kill him. He tried to zigzag and get up close to us, but we weren't going to let that happen. And now we have 2 guys left. One's in front and one is waiting where the zone's going to end, at the end zone on the right. So we just need to take this guy out, and the other guy definitely can't third party this from there. And then we're going to be able to use Zero's ability to go ahead and give us an advantage. He knows that we're on the other side of this wall, but what he doesn't know is that we're a Zero. So what we can do is we can just kind of throw ourselves up on top of this wall, knowing that it's going to pull into us. He has no choice but to run past us, so he will be absolutely screwed if he does. We go ahead, hit another ability to see where people are with the UAV, and now we are just doing insane damage. And we're just trying to play a little smart, knowing that the zone's coming to our back. There's no need to risk it by trying to shoot into the shield. He's going to have to run out, and once he does, we go ahead and get the kill, and then we get the win with a 26 kill, 9k damage game. And while we are trying to broaden our horizons a little bit, we do have our comfort picks still, which are the two guns we had practiced so far up to this point the most. And so in a game like this, which we had a little bit of difficulty in, I came down and I bought my comfort picks. And it's okay to not always progress. Remember, you want to try to get consistently better every time and whatnot, but you can't always be getting better all the time. Sometimes you're going to have bad games, and if you're having a bad game, it's not going to help you to just run into the slaughter with a weapon that you're not used to. Sometimes it's okay to go back to those comfort picks and never forget that it's okay to just kind of slow down and take your time with it. As long as you're doing your best and you are trying to do a little bit to get better over time, you don't have to try to get better every game. It doesn't have to always be about getting better. It's just if you want to get better, here are the steps to it, but it's okay to want to win. It's okay to have bad games and need that little confidence boost. And we went from 8 kills to 13 in the most unbelievably bad circumstances of just having like the zone at our back. This one was a rough one, but luckily we got our comfort picks and we started doing a good job again, and we were able to go ahead, get that guy to run away. We're in a pretty good spot of the zone. We go ahead and go in the building, and we're already in the next zone, but this guy comes up behind us over here, and oh my god, that was almost really bad. So he's going to want to come behind us so he can get around using the shield, and that way we can come up and kill him. Luckily we used heals, which was the exact amount of health we had left, so if we didn't heal there, we probably would have died. It's always good to try to get those little bits of heals in when you can, especially if you know someone's coming at you from a distance away or from obstacles that you can get a heal in. Just make sure that you don't overdo it, because if they start shooting you while you're healing, I promise you're going to lose health faster than the heal gets there. So that's something to practice every once in a while if you can, especially on fights you know you're going to win. Go ahead and just start practicing it. That way you can get your muscle memory down. Right there, we kill that guy, and the other guy we had shot was AFK. He disconnected into the storm, which was unbelievably lucky, and made it to where we got the win. This one right here is what I would call an unconventional way to win. That's why I left it in here. It's actually one of my favorite wins I've ever gotten. So right here, this guy goes invisible and then just rushes us. Luckily, we are able to take him out with someone else's gun. And then we go ahead and get out the AK and just try to kill this car. Because if you've watched any of my videos, you may know that I hate people in vehicles more than anything in the world. It doesn't really do anything good for the guy who's driving unless someone's distracted by someone else, and then you can get a kill, which just makes it super frustrating and annoying, and I absolutely hate it. But one good thing about it is it makes your damage numbers go insane. So every time I see a guy in a car, I just go ahead and kill him for the damage numbers and because I hate them. But luckily right here, we're going to go ahead and throw a smoke and advance just a little into the new zone. And that's the whole point of this, is we're just incrementally advancing. If you get top 3 with 10 kills, you will get basically the same amount of points as a guy who gets first with 40 kills, because it does cap out at 125 points for rank, and it's 125 points for the amount of kills you get. So if you get third instead of first, you get 115 instead of 125, which is negligible at that point. And if you get 10 kills, you basically get the maximum amount of damage points that you can get. So we already have our 10 kills. There's no reason to worry about it in this end game, especially since we're in a terrible spot in an open end game. So we're basically just letting things go. That way we can just get the top 3 and then worry about the rest from there. Right here, we go ahead and use our power slide to get into the next zone. And right here, I use a UAV because I have absolutely no idea where they are. One of the guys is the one who went invisible, and now we can't see him on radar either. Luckily, we were able to go ahead and kill the guy who comes in fourth, so we get top 3, and we knew that he was fighting someone over there, so I figured I would just keep looking, and both people happen to be over here. So I go ahead and throw my shield down a little bit prematurely, because I always do it premature because it lags and just won't work sometimes. But the problem with that is it was in the wrong spot, basically. It just got hit by the zone super hard. And so what this guy's going to do is he's going to try to go and get to the new zone. I realize that's not possible from where I'm at, so what I'm doing is I'm hiding from him, and I am going for a heal-off win. These are very stupid and very risky, and instead of coming out to where he could shoot me, what I do is I just let him wait there, and we actually win in a heal off. And yes, I did that because I was so close, and it did get us top 600. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.